It all comes down to tonight. Don't miss the biggest night in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Looking to the end zone for the win!
Oh my gosh, one of the great games you'll ever see.
The competition is back, and the UEFA Women's Champions League looks set to be bigger and better than ever before.
It's their time. A night to remember.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
This is the moment the world has been waiting for. The judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready. The fight starts now!
How do you like it? So aggressive, so focused. It all comes down to this. Weigh in, live on DAZN.
We are just 24 hours away from fight night and the drama still continues. Now all they have to do is step on these scales and make it official. Welcome to the weigh-in for Eubank Jr against Conor Benn.
We've walked a similar path in the shadows of legends.
That's mental, that is. We've got Eubank to sign it as well. Yeah, let me quickly scribble a bit.
They say lightning never strikes twice. I knew that the chances of me ever being able to make it in boxing were so slim that it's like, it wasn't even really worth me trying. I guess the sickness inside of me, let me see how far I can get. But I've done that now.
Why do this to yourself? Because I love the challenge, the drive, the goals, the ambition, the fighting. As long as I reach my full potential and I can look back and go, I've done everything I could.
I don't have to fight now. I could retire tomorrow and I would be okay. But I don't want to be fine. I want to be excellent.
Before I even turned pro, it got mentioned. Irrelevant of how far apart we were in our careers when we first started, the gap seems to have closed very quickly, mainly because of all the work I've been doing.
He doesn't worry me. He doesn't scare me. I don't see him as a threat.
Well, you think I'm gonna be a walk in the park?
I mean, yeah, on a nice summer's day. You got to prove me wrong.
I rise to the occasion every single time. I'm ready for this.
Life's a coat of many colors. It is never black and white. Can't have one without the other.
In my opinion, I'd stop him inside 8 rounds.
I do fancy my son. Trooper session.
Said this and I believe I win by stoppage. Within 6.
If he's saying it's going to end in 6 rounds, then it will end in 6 rounds. He will end in 6 rounds.
Boy is in trouble. Yes! 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 Yes!
The dark without the light.
Welcome back to London as we make our penultimate stop on this Fight Week tour as we get the fighters weighed in ahead of a huge fight night from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow. Now, I am delighted to be here at this incredible venue in North London, flanked by 2 of the very best. Carl Frampton, Tony Benn, absolute pleasure to have you here. Now, Carl, a fresh face here on the DAZN broadcast this week, but I know you've been keeping your eyes and your ears very close to this Fight Week build-up. What have you made of it so far?
I've been watching it all from home. I I was expecting a wee bit more chaos and controversy, if I'm being honest, just considering what we had in the very start of the build-up to the fight. So it's been a bit of a letdown. No, I think the guys are just in the zone now. They're ready to fight, and there's no time to mess about.
Tony, talk to me. 35 years ago, this rivalry, this grudge match started. Did you ever really believe that we'd be in this position, fighting on this stage? They're two sons, two statues, two people who look just like their dads, who fight just like their dad. Would we be here?
Listen, the only thing that was stopping it was people talking and weight classes, and all that nonsense. It goes away once the money side gets met. Once the money side gets met, everything happens in boxing. It's as simple as that. We've seen what's happened over the last 18 months, 2 years, since His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh got involved in the sport. All the problems, all the bickering, all the nonsense gets put to one side, and the big fights happen. And there hasn't been a bigger one than this, domestically anyway. So this is the biggest domestic grudge match I can remember since, wow, I don't know, I haven't seen anything on this magnitude. This crosses over to the grandmothers. This crosses over to the bingo halls. This is huge. It's astronomical. This covers front and back pages because it's captured the public's imagination.
You talk about capturing the public's imagination. It's that big, that's huge. But huge news came out this morning that Chris Eubank Jr. missed weight. Was an hour late, missed weight, came in at 160.2 pounds. Then went to make weight again and couldn't get that last bit, 0.5 of a pound, and this is how it played out.
How are you, mate? You okay? Check these scales out a minute. I know they've been calibrated there. 20 kgs. It's a bit light, isn't it? Conor, let's just see what you're on. Come on. Nice and still. Take your time. And 156.4. Well done.
Whether he makes it, whether he don't make it, he's had a tougher night than me, that's for sure.
How are we doing, Chris? Afternoon. How are you? Okay? Whenever you're ready.
We stopped the cameras. We didn't agree to any filming in that.
Come on, let's just get him on. Chris, take your time. Take your time, Chris.
Yeah, I will take my time.
Yeah,
that's right.
Why is it filming? We'll tell you when we're ready to film. I've never been in a ring magazine. Mate, I've never been in a weigh-in. Everyone's contracted. Like, yeah, but that's at 6 p.m. The open line. Why is everyone here?
What do you mean, why is everyone here?
Like all these films. Why is all this filming here? I don't understand.
There's too many cameras in the film.
Why don't you just let the ring magazine do it then? No cameras, but the ring magazine.
Ring magazine, please.
Okay, nice and still.
160.2.
Yes, 160.2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cameras off now.
Let go of it, Chris. And it is 160.05. 160.05.
Finished over. And obviously Eubank turned up late, 0.2 of a pound over, took his pants off, 0.1, and then eventually made the decision to go and have a stroll around to try and get that last ounce off, but kind of left it too late. Came back up and unfortunately half a ounce over. Obviously there's a penalty for that, but the fight goes on and we like our chances.
Carl, Tony, tense scenes there from inside Chris Eubank Jr.'s camp. And from what you've seen there and from what you understand, what does that mean? What, missing weight, going back, missing weight again, not just the monetary value we're hearing is $500,000, but what does that mean mentally? You both have been there, you both had to cut weight, you both had to move up divisions. Tony, talk to me about what that does to a fighter.
Mentally, it does nothing to the fighter mentally, but, you know, he's given everything he's got. I don't care how much he's earning tomorrow night. $500,000 is a lot of money, and it's a maximum amount of damage for a minimal mistake on his part. So it is what it is. It won't make it. I don't think it plays into any way side tomorrow night, because believe you me, when he gets in that ring, he will be fully hydrated, he will be fully fueled, and he will be ready to go. And this isn't his first rodeo. Let's not forget that. So he'll be ready.
I think Conor will get a bit of a G up from it. He would have known that it's going to be tight for Eubank on the weight anyway, and to make that 160-pound limit. But to know, Conor to know that Eubank's been struggling all night. He hasn't slept. He's had to get up in the morning and try and lose the remainder while he's been having a nice night in bed. that's something that Conor can take with him and going forward in this fight he can use to his advantage. But I don't think Eubank Jr, if I'm being honest, will worry too much about it. He knows, and we all know it was going to be tight for him to make the weight.
We heard Eddie Hearn, we heard Conor Benn calling him, get the weight off Fat Boy at the presser. There were rumblings and rumours that it was going to be hard for him to make the weight, but you don't believe that it's going to affect the fight in any way, shape or form?
I think the rehydration clause affects it more than what we've seen today. It'll be interesting to see just what Eubank Jr looks like on the scales. Now we've seen footage of him from this morning. There's going to be a difference already, and that's only a matter of hours. So we will see him inflated. I'll put a bet on it now. Eubank is probably 7-8 litres of water deep at this stage because he's so dry. I bet he hasn't went to the toilet once. That's how hard it is for him to make this weight.
Is this the trouble with trying to make a fight like this, where one fight is jumping up 2 weight classes, might be 2.5 on the night? Is that where the problem's going to come?
I don't think it's as deep as that. I think Conor's been fighting at 154 recently. Chris has been fighting at 160 and 168. Chris has come down. Listen, don't sign up to a fight and a weight that you can't make. It's quite simple. Honour your obligations. He hasn't done that. Now I feel for him because, believe me, I don't care what anyone else's opinion is, he's gave that absolutely everything. He's gave it everything to make that weight. I don't care what anyone says. And he's came up short by a minimal amount. That lets you know he had nothing else left to give. Today was the hardest part. Tomorrow won't be. He makes £10 tomorrow, and he may have to lose £6, £5-6 tomorrow morning, but he does it fully hydrated, fully fueled with carbohydrates in him. It'll fall off tomorrow morning.
He missed it by such a little amount, like half an ounce. He could have, if he had more time, if he didn't show up to the weigh-in so late, he could have shaved that off his legs or his beard, or you know what I mean. You'd have got that off somewhere, but because he left it so late, I think it's a costly mistake.
He left it so late because he knew that he was having struggle.
Yeah, I was hearing
knew the time he was supposed to be here. No one's late for the weigh-in.
I was hearing Eddie Hearn has said that Chris had asked for the weigh-in to be an hour earlier, and then actually turned up an hour late. So, I mean, that tells you, right, that he's probably bone dry when he...
You know what the difference is? He's miscalculated, because my prediction on this is he thought he'd lose more than his sleep, and he lost nothing in his sleep. That's where the calculation's gone wrong. He's gone to bed expecting to lose maybe £1, half a pound, and he lost nothing in his sleep because his body had literally started saying to him, no more. And when your body starts saying no more, the only way to get it out then, hot baths and salt. You've got to literally drag it from your body, and that's not nice.
You boys have got ample experience in that time. Talk us through your own experience doing that and how it's affected you in fights.
Well, I was the IBF champion, so there was always, when I was the champion, there was always the £10 limit the next day. And even for a small man like me, that was difficult to stay within. I used to go to bed at 11.5 pounds, over the £10, or over the original weight limit, and dry out £1.5 pounds. And I had it down to a fine art. I used to weigh in bang on all the time, apart from once where I had to do a hot bath the morning of a fight, which wasn't ideal, and your head starts going a bit all over the place because it's just not normal. Your opponent's enjoying his breakfast and you're in the bath losing weight. So yeah, it's horrible, and Tony knows about it, doing light heavyweight. I had no idea how he ever made light heavyweight, but
I used to do light heavy. I fought with Donna Stevens with the WBC, the Ring Magazine belt in the IBF, after he beat Tavoris Clarke for the IBF, and that £10 thing came in, and I had to get it off in the morning. It was hard.
How much, Tony?
To get off in the morning.
Yeah.
I think I'd just done a little bit of hot bath for £3, but it came
still,
off.
I know, yeah.
But it came off, and it didn't play on my mind. But I'm not gonna. That's not why I lost. I was just dead at the weight, full stop. I'd outgrown. It's not that I'd outgrown the weight. Age, once you hit 30, your body changes.
It gets tougher and tougher.
As an athlete, and it's tougher. And Chris is over that 30 age limit, and it gets harder and harder to make weight. We're
going to come back to this because it's a topic that we could talk about all day. It's such a massive part and a storyline in this fight. But guys, on DAZN, it is so much more than just football, just boxing.
Greatness comes to DAZN this summer. The world's best players will be summoned together to decide the greatest club on earth.
Vinicius, great chance to score.
Goats will battle Wonder Kids. Fire will meet ice. From Boca to Bayern, PSG to Palmeiras, 32 clubs from across the globe will compete to be crowned.
Rodrigo, what a strike that was.
world champion. And this summer, Haaland won't be watching from home, but you can, on DAZN. In every country in the world. FIFA Club World Cup. Watch on DAZN from the 14th of June.
DAZN is the official global broadcaster for the 2025 FIFA World Cup. Club Cup, which will feature 32 of the world's top football clubs. Teams from Europe, Asia, the Americas, Africa and Oceania will compete for the coveted Club World Champion title. Watch all 63 live matches on DAZN beginning on June 14th. And this is what we have to look forward to, a massive fight card. Billam-Smith against Brandon Glanton. We've got Clarke in a massive British Cruiserweight Championship fight against Vidal Riley. Liam Smith against the young and hungry McKenna for the WBA International Middleweight Championship. And of course the third fight, a tasty one, the WBA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Championship between Anthony Yarde and Lyndon Arthur. There is sure to be fireworks there. And of course, the middleweight contest that we've been talking about and thinking about for over 2.5 years. Eubank Jr faces Conor Benn at a packed-out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in front of 65,000. And guys, we are ready. I'll leave you in the capable hands of our master of ceremonies, Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official weigh-in for Fatal Fury. A great night of championship boxing tomorrow from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England. It is all being brought to you by Ring Magazine and SNK Corporation, the publisher of the famous video fighting game Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. With Ben Shalom for Boxer, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, and Box Raw in association with Ring Magazine. Along with their great sponsors, Public Investment Fund, Visit Saudi, STC, SRMG, Dr. Suleiman El Habib Medical Group, Saudia, the national airline of Saudi Arabia, Jeddah Season, Malaf Cola, Visit Qatar, Core Group, Desert, NHC, Jacko, Sky, Arab National Bank, First Data, Sella, and SMC. A big thanks to those great sponsors. The Fatal Fury event is now sold out, but you can still watch it live worldwide on DAZN and here in the UK on Sky Sports Box Office. Let's now get the weigh-in process started. Our first two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 12-round cruiserweight contest. We will first welcome from Atlanta, Georgia, USA. He brings a professional record consisting of 20 wins, 2 defeats, 17 of his 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the highly ranked fighter by all major sanctioning bodies and number 8 by Ring Magazine, Brandon Bulletproof Glanton. And now we welcome the fighting pride of Bournemouth, England. His professional record, 20 wins, 2 defeats, 13 of his 20 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the World and ranked number 2 by Ring Magazine, known as the Gentleman, Billam-Smith. And first to the scale, we welcome Brandon Glanton. 199.5 for Brandon Bulletproof Glanton. Now to the scale, Chris Billam-Smith. £199 for the gentleman, Chris Billam-Smith. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these two competing tomorrow in a scheduled 12-round cruiserweight contest.
Brandon Glanton, knockout artist, recently went to Russia, stopped his opponent in the 11th round, carries power well deep into a fight against a very disciplined, hard-working and heavy-hitting Chris Billam-Smith.
Yeah, it's a good fight, really is. Billam-Smith's been in a few tough fights recently, and it'll just be interesting to see what that's taken out of him, but certainly you have him as the favourite in this fight, but Glanton seems up for it.
And now we will go to Jamie, who's interviewing our fighters on the stage.
Okay, what a way to kick things off. Tomorrow night, brilliant fight in the cruiserweight division. Brandon, final face-off done with Chris Billam-Smith. You've certainly brought the energy this week, but tell this crowd your final thoughts. How do you beat him tomorrow night?
By knockout. As I said, we're not predicting rounds. I'm not getting into all that, but Chris going to sleep. Previously, I said some things that weren't so favorable with the public. So for that, everyone, the comments I made about brain damage, I was wrong for that. You know, I get emotional. Obviously, it's the biggest fight of my career. You say things happen. You spend months on months training. So everybody, please forgive those comments I made. But other than that, I just wanted to get the point across. He's going to sleep. That's it. He's going to sleep. He's done boxing.
Brandon Glanton, respect for that, and best of luck to you tomorrow night as well. We are going to head over the stage to grab a word with the gentleman, Mr. Chris Billam-Smith. Chris, he has just apologised. Your support making themselves heard here. He's apologised for what he said yesterday. The comments were unsavoury, pretty personal. Has that changed the way you want to beat him tomorrow?
No, he's learning. He's learning, and he'll learn more on Saturday.
And just finally, he said knockout. What's your version? How do you get back on track tomorrow night?
He's right in the knockout, but yeah, the only sleeping I'll be doing is very well after the fight when I'm back home.
Chris, wish you the best of luck tomorrow night. Top man.
He's been on a couple of these big shows now. He should have been paid well.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 12-round contest, and it'll be for the British Cruiserweight Championship. Let's first welcome the challenger from Tottenham, London, England. He is undefeated with 12 wins, 7 of his 12 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the current English Cruiserweight Champion, Vidal the Realist Riley. And now let's welcome the defending champion From Gravesend, Kent, England, he proudly represented Great Britain at the 2020 Olympics and now has a professional record of 10 wins, just 1 defeat. 7 of his 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending British Cruiserweight Champion, known as C4 Chev Clarke. First to the scale, Vidal Riley. $199.5 for Vidal, the realist Riley. Now to the scale, Chev Clarke. $198.7 for C4 Chev Clarke. These two competing tomorrow in a scheduled 12-round contest for the British Cruiserweight Championship.
Between these two, a mouth-watering one, but a lot of people are picking this as their fight of the night contender.
It could be. It's possibly the hardest fight to call in terms of who's the favourite. I imagine the bookies have him similar priced as well, but a tough fight. I'm leaning towards Chev Clarke for no particular reason. Then he's fought at a slightly higher level, but that's it. It wouldn't surprise me whoever wins this fight.
A lot of talk is coming out of the boxes here. I know Vidal used to box out of Repton. An understanding, he was a fantastic amateur. Obviously went away, left the sport for a little bit, has come back, largely untested in the pros, but somebody a lot of the boxing fans and insiders are raving about. So I think this is set to be an incredible fight and no one can call.
It is, and also people are forgetting the little small issue of Arsenal v Tottenham.
Massive. Massive.
In Tottenham Hotspur's ground. So listen, it's a proper, I don't want to say grudge match because these two have been really respectful to each other, but it's a domestic clash of massive magnitude in this part of the world. You know, in London, this is London.
We're standing by with Jamie there, who I believe has Vidal Riley next to him. Jamie, take it away.
Yes, a domestic banger in the cruiserweight division. Tomorrow night, British cruiserweight title on the line. Vidal Riley. The energy flowing here. I just said this is pretty special, and you agreed. You've said this is your destiny tomorrow for the Tottenham fan at the home of Tottenham Hotspur. How do you turn this destiny and this dream into reality tomorrow night?
Just do the business, man. Just do the business. Done everything we needed to do this week. The most important job is tomorrow, man. Handle business.
Wish you best of luck tomorrow night, Vidal Riley. Let's head over here for a quick final word with British Cruiserweight champion Chev Clarke, our very own North London derby at Tottenham tomorrow. Lifelong Arsenal fan against lifelong Tottenham Hotspur supporter. Chev, a big fight in your career, looking to get back to winning ways and keep hold of that British title. How do you do it in this test? What do you see in Vidal Riley?
I use my skills. You know, I've got pedigree, I've got experience, and you guys have seen glimpses of it. It will come together come tomorrow night, and I'll go home and still.
Chev, wish you the best of luck tomorrow night. Good stuff. Left me hanging as well on stage. Great stuff, Chev.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBA International Middleweight Championship. Let's first welcome from Monaghan, Ireland. He is undefeated with 19 wins. 10 of his 19 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the relentless undefeated fighter known as the Silencer, Aaron McKenna. And now let's welcome from Liverpool, England. His professional record consists of 33 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw, 20 of his 33 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome the former WBO super welterweight champion of the world, Liam Beefy Smith. First to the scale, Aaron McKenna. 159.7 for the Silencer, Aaron McKenna. Now to the scale, Liam Smith. 160 pounds even for Liam Beefy Smith. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these two competing tomorrow in a scheduled 12-round contest for the vacant WBA International Middleweight Championship.
Tony, I want to come to you on this one. Liam Smith, Aaron McKenna, a tough fight. A year and 7 month long layoff for Beefy. Up in a tough fight against a young, hungry opponent that wants to bang. How do you see this one going? What do you make of this fight?
He's 19-0 with 16 knockouts for a reason. He's obviously got pedigree. He's a good fighter. But Liam is here to show he's not washed up and he's not done. And I think he will. I think he'll come through a tough first 4 to 5 rounds, and then I think he'll see off McKenna in the back end of it.
You have to give Liam so much credit for even taking this fight. Like, what? I mean, a lot of people won't even know who Aaron McKenna is. No disrespect to the kid, but he can really fight, and he's brave. That may be his downfall. I think that suits Liam.
Well, let's hear from the fighters themselves. Jamie, take it away.
Okay, Aaron, fight number 20, and look at this for a stage as well. Intense face-off there with Liam Smith. What does this fight represent in your story and your journey so far?
This is what I've been training my whole life for, what a spectacle this is, and I intend to make the most of it. I have the utmost respect for Liam Smith, but I'm too young, too fresh, too sharp, too big for him, and tomorrow night he's going to realise he made a big mistake taking on me.
In one word, how do you do it?
Devastating fashion. KO always.
Great stuff. Aaron, wish you the best of luck tomorrow night. What a fight this is, and let's head over to Liam Beefy Smith. Liam, I just asked Aaron that question. What makes this an important fight in your career? You've been at the very top, but what makes this an important moment for you as well tomorrow?
Every fight at a stage of this magnitude is hugely important. The eyes on you. But like I said many times since, the last time I was in the ring, I put in a bad performance, and this time round I'm looking to right the wrongs and prove I'm still the best middleweight in Britain. And Aaron McKenna's a tough young kid, but one not ready for me just yet.
Just finally, he says devastating fashion. What's your version of events just finally?
Just a typical Liam Smith performance, and I'll break him down, I'll stop him.
Top man, Liam, wish you the best of luck tomorrow night.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a trilogy rematch scheduled for 12 rounds, and it will be for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Championship. It is brought to you in association with Frank Warren for Queensberry, Gold Star Promotions, Wasserman Boxing, and AY Promotions. Let's first welcome from Manchester, England, his professional record, 24 wins, 2 defeats, 16 of his 24 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former IBO light heavyweight world champion, Lyndon King Arthur. And now let's welcome, from Ilford, London, England, his professional record consists of 26 wins, 3 defeats, 24 of his 26 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former 2-time world title challenger and ranked number 5 by Ring Magazine. Here is Anthony, the Beast from the East, Yarde. First to the scale, Lyndon Arthur. 174.6 for Lyndon King Arthur. Now to the scale, Anthony Yarde. 174.2 for Anthony, the Beast from the East, Yarde. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these two competing tomorrow in a scheduled 12-round contest for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Championship.
Anthony Yarde, Lyndon Arthur, the third of the trilogy. A little bit of needle as they talk to each other. What do you think they're saying to each other, Carl?
I have no idea. Well, I'll speak Tony. What are they saying, Tony?
We're before the watershed, Tony, so...
You know what? They've done this twice already, so you won't know what's getting said, but I don't think there's any real hatred or animosity between these two. I just think there's a level of respect, but it digs at Anthony. Anthony doesn't like the fact that we touched upon it a couple of days ago. Doesn't like that this kid's got one over on him, and it doesn't sit right with him when he puts his head on the pillow at night that he's 1-1 with Lyndon Arthur. It's him who's insinuated this rematch. It's all down to Anthony Yarde. Can Lyndon Arthur repeat what happened the first time?
It's going to be an incredible fight. You know, he's spoken about his mental headspace and the reasons why he wasn't quite right in the first fight, but that doesn't change the fact that it is 1-1. This is the decider. I'm excited for it, Carl.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's a decent fight. The second fight was ended pretty convincingly by Anthony Yarde. He'd be looking to do that again, but Lyndon Arthur's a proud man. He's got a team behind him who back him. Pat Barr, I know, has got a lot of things to say about this fight in particular, so I just think it's going to be a great fight.
Well, we might find out what they were saying to each other, because Jamie is with the fighters right now.
Okay, a trilogy to look forward to in the chief support tomorrow night. It's one apiece between Lyndon Arthur and Anthony Yarde. Lyndon, final face-off. I have to ask, what were you saying to Anthony Yarde there?
Nothing, it's just a bit of banter back and forth. He's telling me I look scared, apparently. Did I look scared? I look scared? No? Yeah, petrified, I told him so. You know, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
And in terms of this, you beat him before. How do you believe you beat him again tomorrow night?
I think I stop him. I believe I stop him. But I'm scared, so I don't know.
And in terms of the version of yourself, what version of Lyndon Arthur are we going to see tomorrow night?
The best one that's been yet, I believe. I'm in the best shape of my life, so done everything proper for once.
Great stuff. Lyndon Arthur, look forward to this tomorrow night. Let's hear from the man in the opposite corner. Anthony Yarde. Anthony, weight made. He says it was a bit of banter, a bit of back and forth. What were you saying to each other up there?
No, I was asking him if he's scared. If he's scared. Talking about his glasses. I can't remember. We were just chatting shit.
I said to him there, it's one apiece. He's predicting that he'll stop you this time. I know you've said all week that one apiece annoys you. How do you settle this rivalry tomorrow in your own mind?
Everyone knows my style. I don't trash talk or nothing like that, but my style is I like to win by knockout. So regardless if it's him, anybody, I want to win the fight by knockout. So especially it being him, I'm going to win the fight by knockout.
Great stuff, Anthony. Wish you the best of luck tomorrow night. The decider in the chief support.
Well, that is the undercard weigh-in done. We still have the main event weigh-in to come. With all the drama, I'm sure it's going to be very, very spicy. And guess what, guys? I am delighted to say I am joined in the studio by the one and only Hamza Sheeraz, dapper as usual.
Trying.
It's a pleasure to have you here. When you see, does this make you still hungry again for those big fights, those big fight nights? You've already been part of some just recently, obviously against Carlos Adames. You got itchy knuckles.
Yeah, for sure. It's my first outing back in like a boxing environment since the fight. I was in a bit of a dark place, but I got out of it, and yeah, I'm better now.
Understandably, big changes are happening around you at your camp, your training. Can you tell us about that? What prompted those?
Yeah, no, I felt like I needed it. Not that anyone was to blame, but me as a fighter, I feel like after sitting down with my team after my last fight, we kind of identified the necessary changes, and changes meant getting rid of 80% of the people I had around me. Do you know what I mean? And choosing Andy Lee as a head trainer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to what's to come.
Understandably, big events are on the horizon. Can you tell us about? Because I'm hearing rumours. Ring Magazine are purportedly talking about a potential July fight day in New York. Can we talk about that, or are we keeping that under wraps?
I can't say anything official yet, but if the rumours are true,
okay.
What a great fight! What a great fight! I've always said now I'm in the era of boxing where the best fight the best, and very few fighters actually do as they say. And I said after my last fight when I sat down with Frank and these guys, put me in a big fight at 168 and see how I do.
You don't want to take the easy route. We've spoken a lot this morning about weight cuts and boiling down and being dry and how it affects you. Was it an easy decision? You go, do you know what, maybe this isn't for me anymore, I've got to move on?
The decision was about 3 fights ago. But I was in a position where I was on my way to fight for a world title at 160. I was kind of covering up the fact of how hard the weight was by getting the early knockout, so I didn't know how it affected me. But like I said, nothing to blame. I put my hands up with my own decision for staying at 160, but now I'm at 168.
What do you think that fight against Carlos Adames taught you as a fighter? Obviously, didn't go your way with the split decision draw, but fighting at that level, coming out of it, and you said you went to a dark place. How has that changed you as a fighter?
Do you know what? It's matured me a lot. It's made me realise the harsh realities of boxing and life itself. Do you know what I mean? And I think the main thing is I learn from it and I move forward. That's the main thing.
And as we look at this fight, you can see obviously you're bitterly disappointed. You go in there for the win. Those moments, they usually defy degree. You can go up, you can go down. You seem like the personality and the type of fighter that will only use that as strength.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like I said, if I don't learn from this, I'm screwed. It's as simple as that. I'm screwed, and I believe myself. I've identified what went wrong, and I think if I didn't, then there'd be an issue. And yeah, I'm in a good headspace now. I'm in a good headspace. I've got 4 people around me now, and that's all I need.
You talk about a trainer like Andy needed to change the careers of so many fighters. What does he bring to you? What was that thing that when you spoke to him, you saw him, you're in boxing, you understand how it works. What was that thing that just clicked with you?
Do you know what? I didn't want to just pick him and kind of not see how he trains anyone and whatnot. So I went to watch Ben Whittaker do a training session. I liked what I saw. And then I sat down with Andy afterwards, and it's the first time ever I've seen a lot of myself in a person. And I feel like from the conversation we had, from what I saw in the gym, that it's only going to benefit me forward. And I know this is the man who's going to take me to the end of my career.
Can I jump in there 1 second? Because I really rate Andy Lee as a coach. I think it's more than just his coaching ability. He's very, very wise. He's wisdom beyond his years, and he's always been like that since a guy in his early 20s back in the Irish high performance team. But what I think will work particularly well with you is Andy was devastating at hitting people on the end of his shots, lengthening his shots, and look at the lever this guy has on him. So what better man to teach him? I think it's a great matchup.
We've spoken a bit about Chris Eubank Jr. Obviously in this fight week. He's had some things to say about you. You're always quite calm and collected.
Yeah.
What's it like being here? Have you bumped into him in and around the place? Is there still that bit of need there?
I ain't seen him. I've only seen him that once at the Ring Magazine event. He's an interesting character, isn't he? He's an interesting character. I think as of now, he's dialed into this fight, as he should be. And I'm watching it as a fan. I'm watching it as a fan. It's nice to have this kind of the casuals buzzing around the fight like this. It's good, it's good. The energy is brilliant.
And Tony, I want to come to you a little bit because Chris obviously had the dramas this morning trying to make weight. He probably should be fighting at 168. This man here, 168. Is that a fight that you'd want to see?
Of course, listen, I'm a big Hamza fan. Hamza's done amazing with what he's done in his career. He's had ups and downs, setbacks, and now he's found the right place. I study and listen to all of what he's just said, and I like what he's saying because people go on about, oh, movement trainers, this and that. Movement trainers is good because it's a different look, it's a different set of eyes, a different approach, and sometimes a change is as good as a break.
You get a bit stale sometimes, Tony, don't you?
It doesn't matter how good the trainer was at the start, and there's nothing wrong, and no one's to say it's wrong, but he's took that on his shoulders and he's accepted culpability and responsibility for himself, and that's credible because so many fighters come out after the loss and go, it was his fault, it was his fault, it wasn't mine. Because as fighters, we're the best liars in the world because we lie to ourselves. Now, it shows what a man Hamza is. He comes out, accepts all responsibility himself, and then says, I made the change for me. And the change ended. He goes to see what Ben was doing, now he's doing with him. And he's a quality fighter, and he's been round, in my opinion, the greatest trainer boxing's ever seen, the late great Emmanuel Stewart, the Cronk. Now, Andy's been around the gyms, he's on the Island Performance team, he's an amateur when I was an amateur, top amateur, brilliant fighter. He's been to Adam Booth as well, he's been different places, so he's got a lot of experience, he's been around world-class fighters, spent so much time in America, Detroit, in that city, sparring. He's got all this to hand over to the fighters. Look at the job he's done with Joseph Parker. He created Joseph Parker in a whole new way. He's given him a new career, a new lease of life. And I don't think Hamza needs that, but it's going to help him. It can't do anything but benefit him. And like I said before, it shows the mark of the man when he just accepts and took everything on his own shoulders, just sits here and listen. And you don't have to say anything. It speaks for itself. So I'm wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you, Tony.
I think only better things are going to come from him. And the experience of that Adamez fight will do him the world of good. Right. When you don't get rid of someone that you may be expected to get rid of, when they're still there after them 9-10 rounds, when you're in the championship round, he didn't quit, he didn't give in.
Ben is probably the best at taking the emotion out of fights, whereas Chris is steely, he's a showman. I don't think whatever goes on in his head, you would never know. He's like a duck, the legs are going crazy, but on the top he looks calm.
I think he uses the emotion in a good way for himself. Like, he fights, he's an aggressive fighter. He seems to be an aggressive person from what we see at the weigh-ins and workouts and everything else, but I think he can use that to his advantage. He doesn't want to be meek and timid when he gets in the ring. If this is his persona outside the ring, I think we're going to see him go forward, but I do think he needs to be careful not to walk into an uppercut. Eubank has a very good uppercut, and Conor kind of leaning over his front foot. That might be the shot that Eubank tries to land.
When you see Conor and Chris and that 3-4 minute stare off, does that not take anything out of you? You know, usually it's like, right, all eyes, let's do our fighting on fight night. They've done a lot in this build-up. There's been some shenanigans. There's been, you know, the dad's talking. It distracts you, no?
I think, like you said, what we were just talking about before, it all comes down to how you are as a fighter. Some fighters feed off it, and other fighters use it in a negative way. And I feel like the only way it could affect Conor Benn in a negative light is due to the lack of experience of being on a big stage like this.
He always comes out, when you talk to him about that lack of experience, he says, as a 19-year-old kid with no amateur experience, walking out at the O2, a packed O2, that's pressure, right? So he feels like he might not necessarily have the same resume as Chris Eubank Jr. He might not have fought on those big nights, have had those rivalries.
I think he's only trying to fool himself, I'll be honest, because a fight of this magnitude, when you've got your father's legacies at stake, that's pressure there, and that goes without saying, really.
Listen, he's going to feel it, but the reason why he's so confident is he knows in his heart of heart can't work any harder. And when a fighter puts it in the gym and knows he's got no boxes left to tick, knows he's left no stone unturned, he walks in so confident. And that's what training to the maximum you've got gives you. That's why when you see fights walk in and you think, how is he just so confident? People call it cocky. It's not cocky, it's not, it's just pure confidence and believing what you've done away from the cameras. Behind these lights, there's another light, it's called a camp. If you tick every box in that camp, you come into them lights and you shine. That's how it goes.
And we're talking about the man, and he's actually just behind us now. He's about to head down the stairs. He's in the building. He's hearing a lot of Eubank shouts. He's probably not used to being a bit of a villain, right? He was the people's champ, and Eubank was the villain. But he's here and he's kind of having a laugh with some of the fans here, putting his thumbs down. But he looks steely, he looks ready. Like you said, he's got that air of confidence. His father's behind him, which I'm sure gives him, you know, an extra pep in his step in terms of when you're coming into these events. It's almost like a comfort blanket is Nigel. He's always around him, always focused, always pushing him in the right direction.
That's his hero, Josh. That's his hero. Yeah, when your father's Nigel Benn, do you know what I mean?
It's not a bad dad to have.
It's not a bad dad to have.
He woke up to Superman every morning, because that's what that guy was, my hero. Never mind if he was my pops. Growing up, Nigel Benn was the man. Nigel Benn's the man from the streets who fights non-stop.
Well, he's here right now. Conor Benn's here right now, and guess who else is here right now? Michael Buffer, the legendary ring announcer, is about to bring them to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, in about 28 hours, from sold-out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, London, two fighters, two arch rivals will step into the ring and face each other in the main event of a great night of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment. And now we welcome you to the official weigh-in for that main event. It's a presentation of the Bible of Boxing Ring Magazine and SNK Corporation, publisher of the video combat game Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, along with promoters Ben Shalom for Boxer, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, and Box Raw. Sponsorship provided by the Public Investment Fund. Visit Saudi, STC, SRMG, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, Saudia, the national airline of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Jeddah Season, Milaf Cola, Visit Qatar, Core Group, Dessert, NHC, Jacko, Sky, the Arab National Bank, First Data, Sella, and SMC. So now, ladies and gentlemen, the main event. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled, and the middleweight division, and on the line, legacy. But even more important, bragging rights for sure. With almost 70,000 fans in attendance, this will be broadcast and streamed live worldwide on DAZN and available on both DAZN and Sky Sports box office here in the United Kingdom. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring the fighters to the stage and to the scales. First, from London with a perfect professional record consisting of 23 fights, 23 victories, including 14 big wins by knockout. He's the European Continental Welterweight Champion. He is Conor the Destroyer Benn. And now making his way to the ring from East Sussex, his professional record an excellent one, 34 victories, 25 big wins by knockout against only 3 defeats. He's the 2-time IBO Super Middleweight World Champion and the current IBO Middleweight World Champion, Chris Eubank Jr. The 3-time IBO World Champion, Chris Eubank Jr. First fighter to the scale, the Destroyer, the undefeated Conor Benn. perfect professional record, 23 fights, 23 victories, 14 wins by knockout. From right here in London, the undefeated Destroyer, Conor Benn. Stepping onto the scales.
156 pounds and 4 ounces.
156 pounds, 4 ounces. For Conor, the Destroyer Benn. Next on to the scales, the 3-time IBO World Champion. Again, his record, 34 victories, 25 wins by KO. 2-time Super Middleweight Champion with the IBO and the current IBO Middleweight Champion, Chris Eubank Jr. 160.05 pounds. Scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing tomorrow night at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, London. The grudge match the world has been waiting for. On the line, legacy. On the line, bragging rights. It's Benn versus Eubank Jr.
Conor giving away a few pounds there. Obviously, we knew from this morning that Chris was tight at the weight. Conor comes in at 156.4. You can't really eat your way up to the weight, can you? That will be his optimum fighting weight.
That will have been what he's performed best in his sparring, I would imagine. There or thereabouts. That's what he feels great at in the gym. That's what he's thrown fast and harder. It's an ideal thing for him. He's just not got to put on too much tomorrow now.
I think that because he hasn't had the struggle to make the weight, this may be his walk around weight. This is the weight that he's performing best at. There may not be much of an increase, maybe a couple of pounds, I would say at the max. No more than 165, I would say. On the other hand, tomorrow night, Eubank could be maybe 180. So, yeah, it's all very, very interesting.
It could become a very, very expensive week for Chris Eubank if he comes in above that 170-pound rehydration.
Well, but he's got the full day then to recover, so he's still more time then after the 8 o'clock weigh-in tomorrow morning to gain more. So he's going to be way more than 170 tomorrow night.
I mean, Conor Benn's chain might get him up to that 160-pound limit, but look at him, look at the energy there. Chris Eubank Jr. stealing, Conor fiery as ever as he looks out to this packed-out crowd here in this fantastic venue in North London. This is it, this is history, this is 35 years in the making, a grudge match that spans 2 generations.
Tomorrow is the first time in this whole event and build-up, the first time Chris Eubank Jr. loses control of something. He won't be in control tomorrow. The first time in this whole event, everything that's gone on, the first time tomorrow he doesn't have control of something. When he lets his hands go, can't control that, and he can't stop.
Carl, when you look at these two, you can see that fiery hate. But soon, Jamie's going to be with Conor Benn. I mean, this is going to be special. You can feel the energy in this room's just gone up a notch. We're going to leave you in the capable hands of Jamie, who's with Conor Benn right now.
Okay, Conor Benn, what a stage the world awaits tomorrow night. Firstly, your reaction to everything that happened regarding Chris's weight this morning.
I mean, it's an expensive price to pay, isn't it? You know, but he's disciplined, so he should have made the weight. He's made this weight his whole career, you know, he's expecting a little bit of sympathy, but he ain't got no sympathy around here.
Yeah, that's right,
156.4 for yourself. What was the thinking behind that and what that weight gives you tomorrow?
156 is a weight I felt comfortable at. You know, I'm not a 160 fighter, I'm not a 154 fighter, I'm a 147 fighter. So for me, I'm just going to go in there and use my speed, explosiveness, my ferocity. It's the way I fight, you know. For me, that's not a 160.
What did you take from that final face-off?
I don't really take much from it. I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to look scared or intimidated or, you know, I'm neither. You know, and I'm just looking forward to Saturday night. We're here now, and, you know, I plan on giving the fans the fight they want.
And in terms of the fans, in terms of the fight you think they want, tell the world what happens in the ring, Conor Benn, tomorrow night.
You know what I'm there to do. Do you know what I mean? I'm there to get a job done, get in there and get the stoppage. I'm coming in there to take his head clean off.
Conor, I wish you the best of luck tomorrow night. Thanks very much for speaking to us. We're going to head over and try and find Chris Eubank Jr. as well, if we can. Chris, we'll just bring you to the front of the stage. Chris, I have to ask, firstly, your version of events agonisingly just outside the 160 limit. What is your version of what happened and how have you processed it all?
Listen, it is what it is. If they're going to take $500,000 off of me for being 0.5 pounds off of the limit, then that's just what it is. That's the people that Eddie Hearn and Matchroom and Conor Benn are. At the end of the day, weights have no relevance to what happens tomorrow night. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to stop this guy.
How do you move forward now, with caution, of course, ahead of the second day weigh-in tomorrow?
Yeah, the rehydration clause is still in place, so I have to watch what I eat, I have to watch what I drink. But again, all these things, you know, they're set up to distract, to displace, to try and get me off of track. None of it will work.
I asked Conor, what did you take from that final face-off there here tonight?
Nothing. He is, you know, he's in for a hell of a surprise. He thinks he's going to go out there and, you know, hop, skip, and a step and a right hand, as he says. He has no idea the pain that is in store for him tomorrow night.
You got a great reception as you were walking down there off the stairs. I saw it brought a smile to your face. What is your promise, Chris, to all these fans who want to see you beat Conor Benn tomorrow? What's your promise to them?
The procedure will be parliamentary.
Chris Eubank Jr., thank you very much for speaking to us. I wish you the best of luck tomorrow night. I wonder if we can bring in Eddie Hearn and Ben Shalom. Final word from both sides of the promotional team. Ben, will bring you in first. I keep saying this. What a stage. Why does your man win tomorrow night?
Look, he's a better fighter. He's a world-level fighter. He's a fighter that's been here before in the big nights, the big pay-per-view nights, and ultimately it will just become down to who can handle the pressure and who's a better boxer, and that's Chris Eubank Jr. every day of the week, and I cannot wait to put this to bed on Saturday night.
Thanks, Steve. Thank you, Ben. Thank you very much. Let's bring in promoter Eddie Hearn. Eddie, same question to you, really. Obviously, a little bit of drama. Today wouldn't be boxing without a little bit of drama, but what is your version of events tomorrow for Conor Benn?
You know, Chris is a great fighter, the IBO middleweight champion of the world. Couldn't make middleweight this morning, but that's okay. Everybody needs a bit of discipline in their life, and Conor Benn's ready. You know, the swing and the mojo has just switched so much, and it will continue to swing over the next 24 hours. But for me, no one's asking a question about Conor Benn coming up 2 weights, taking on a man that's much bigger to him. And you will see him chop down the tree tomorrow night in front of 65,000 people at Tottenham Hotspur. His father will be there ring walking with him. This means so much to the family, the legacy, everything. I've never met a young man that wants to win so bad. Everything that he's been through over the last couple of years, God works in mysterious ways. Watch us get justice tomorrow night. Watch him take out Eubank. I thought 6 rounds. Conor says inside 2 rounds. We'll split the difference. Ben inside 4 rounds.
Thank you, Eddie. The talking is over. All that's left to do is fight.
And all there is left to do tomorrow night is a fight. Chris Eubank Jr. against Conor Benn. Powered by Victor Fury, City of the Wolves, live on DAZN at 5 o'clock. Now, You can buy that now at DAZN.com/boxing. But this weekend, there is so much more action. This Saturday, Fatal Fury, Eubank against Benn will finally settle a 35-year family feud in front of a sellout crowd at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You can buy that now at DAZN.com/boxing. And do not forget, there is also Cruiserweight World Champion Chris Camozzi takes on Andrea the Italian Thunder Vici at BKFC 73 in Italy. And Dream Boxing brings us Adrian Krasniqi against Diego Ramirez on Saturday night. Don't forget, Kurt Scooby will take on Jesus Vasquez Jr. live from New Jersey. Remember, you can keep up to date with all of the events on offer by heading to the DAZN platform and going to the schedule section where you'll find the live action, including the big one this weekend.
Eubank Jr. versus Benn. Over 30 years of rivalry and hatred. I do hate him. 2 warriors, 2 wars. But the feud was left unfinished. Then, a bloodline born. Legacy, respect. The next generation. My dad's my hero. A new destroyer. Rivalry in their veins. Hatred in their blood. This is going to be a bloodbath. For family. It's personal. I can't lose to this, man. History.
Eubank, Nigel Benn. This is a war.
Legacy. This is the final chapter. Eubank Jr. versus Benn. Live on DAZN Worldwide. April 26th. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
This Saturday's Fatal Fury Eubank Benn kicks off a string of big fights coming your way on DAZN. On May the 2nd, Ryan Garcia faces Rolly Romero live from Times Square in New York. Followed by Canelo Alvarez's pursuit of undisputed super middleweight glory in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Pick one or go all in with a knockout weekend bundle exclusively only on DAZN, and that is available to buy now. Then it's a Queensbury double. Saturday, May the 10th, Anthony Kakachi defends his IBO super featherweight world title against Lee Wood. Then May 24th, Josh Taylor makes his Queensbury debut, moving to welterweight to face Eko Asuman in Glasgow. All part of the 185 fight nights each year that are live on DAZN. Sony, Carl, how did you find that? The energy in the room went up. They were both in their particular stances. Conor Benn, short, blunt, aggressive. Chris, philosophical as usual, shall we say?
Always in control. Always in control. Like I just said before, tomorrow night is the first time in this whole event since this got announced that he's not in control tomorrow night. And this is the first time. And I think it's going to shock him. He's never in his whole career had someone fly at him out the traps and be relentless and not stop. It'll be interesting to see how he deals with it. And then let's not even mention that schedule that's building up. Wow. The amount of boxing that's coming on this amazing channel, on this platform, is unbelievable. What's the schedule?
I want to touch on the fact that Conor Benn turned up with a diamond chain that was glistening. If you look closely, you could see in diamonds, VVS, pure quality, it said not guilty.
Yes.
I mean, that is a bold statement.
You understand what this boy done to prove his innocence, don't you? This boy was given an excuse, given a reason, and refused to do it because he weren't going to lie. This boy was given that would have been swiped under the carpet, time served on a ban, everything. He all wants him to say it, and he refused to do it. And it's cost him nearly his livelihood. The boy's nearly lost everything in trying to prove his innocence when he could have just went, you know what, I made the mistake, I took my wife's whatever.
Understandably, you look at Conor Benn, I think it's purported that he's spent over £1 million to prove his innocence. I mean, if that's not a statement, then, you know, the diamond chain is. But it's all led us to this point. Chris Eubank Jr. against Conor Benn. Surely nothing can happen now to upset the fight.
Oh, I hope not. Look, I'm in the other camp where I think that you shouldn't fail drug tests, no matter if it's an accident or not. I just don't think you should, and as a boxer you should be heavily fined or banned or whatever. But that's my opinion. But no doubt, without that happening, this fight wouldn't be the size that it is. So, I mean, strange things happen in this game, and that's why these guys are earning absolute millions tomorrow night. But I thought Conor looked really, really relaxed up there. He looked confident as well. Eubank is Eubank, relaxed, philosophical, like you said. Nothing really gets under his skin. Both guys seem confident though, so I'm genuinely... I don't remember the last time. Well, I do. Baturbia Bivol, which wasn't that long ago. But before that, I don't remember being as excited for this fight.
Listen, I stand on what Carl says also. I believe any fighter failing for anabolic steroids should be banned for life. And I'll stand by. I don't care whether you mean me, whatever. I've said this numerous times about fights who are doing it and failing. Once you ban one for life, trust me, it'll stop.
Absolutely.
It will stop. But I believe it's got to be anabolic steroids. I believe it's got to be literally... It's cast iron, it's on there, it is. Not some kind of over-the-top counter thing. You're drinking in a vitamin drink or something like that. I'm not saying that's not wrong, you still get a slap on the wrist, but the person who fails for anabolics should be banned for life. And it's happened enough times, make an example of someone. And then secondly, the attitude of both, the persona of both that they're giving out there. Chris is always in control. He controls the narrative of everything he's doing. And if I'm being totally honest, he's controlled Conor the whole period through these press releases, through press conferences, media workouts. He's controlled everything and everyone.
Controlled Piers Morgan and Eddie Hearn, I think, as well.
That's hard to do.
He's done everything, and he's brilliant at what he does. But like I touched on before, tomorrow night he's not in control, and I want to see what happens when he's not in control, because he might be the one to fall apart. We just don't know. Listen, Conor might just be exasperated. He's the one, to me, who's more emotionally invested in this.
Yeah.
I think to Chris, this is a full-blown job.
You know, whatever happens here, Tony, it's going to be so difficult for the loser. How's the loser going to deal with it?
I think it's the difference in the loser is, Carl, I think if
Eubank loses,
for Conor, I'm going back to 147. I regroup. I fight for the world title probably still. You know, I have one comeback fight and I go for the world title. If Eubank Jr. loses to a career welterweight, he's bang in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was done after the Smith loss, the way he lost. Okay, regroup, and that was a quarter of Liam Smith that he faced in the rematch. But it doesn't matter. You can only beat what's in front of you. But ultimately, they've both had things to regroup from and rebate. But if he's to lose, believe you me, one man's career is on the line tomorrow night, in my opinion. The other one, it's a devastating loss.
It's more of a pride issue, I think, than it is as a career issue. I mean, Conor Benn's ranked third with the WBC, so you know he can go back and rebuild himself. Whereas Chris, after having come out with this demeanour, and he's always chased the big fights, right? This is the reason why he is in this fight, right? It's the family name, it's the grudge, but it's a massive fight and it's a huge payday. He chased the Canelo Alvarez fight, he chased the Triple G fight, and it's probably allowed him to open himself up to some level of criticism. So how will he get himself up if he loses this fight? Will he want to get himself up for a mid-level fight? As you see, Chris Eubank Jr. actually is by himself walking around this venue, which is very, very brave. But it does show that he's now the man of the people.
Good on him.
Yeah.
I didn't need to be. He didn't come with a chance.
Walked out in the zone. It's only him.
Walked down the stairs. That's it.
Yeah.
You've got to understand. He's getting in the ring. It's him who makes the decisions. He controls everything in that camp. When we watched the media workout 2 days ago, he told his pad man, he told his trainer Jonathan Banks to stop hitting pads. Then he told his other coach to come in and put the body bag on. I'm going to smash you for a bit.
It's a different world.
I don't like that. Yeah. A coach is the matador. A coach is the coach. I'm paying you to do a job. Coach me. I don't tell. If you're telling a coach, he ain't doing the right job for me. But listen, it's each to their own. It works for some, it doesn't work for others. But he's in complete control. Like I said, he's been in control from the get-go. The only time he's not in control is tomorrow.
Well, we're talking about being in control. I understand that Clarke and Eddie Hearn are struggling to gain control of their Fatal Fury fighters. Let's see what's going on down there.
Okay, how about this then? Tomorrow night brought to you by Ring Magazine, powered by Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, available now on all platforms. And as you can see here, Eddie Hearn and Clarke are doing battle. Eddie recently said he'd never had a Big Mac, and I just wonder, have you ever played a video game, Eddie Hearn?
Every night, yeah. I play Fatal Fury most nights. GS4, Nintendo, Xbox, all of them, yeah.
What are you enjoying about the game and this fight against Chev?
Boom, 2-0. Look, it's actually, and it's me as well. Look, they've actually modelled me as well.
They've got the hair. They've got the hair.
I wish I had that hairline. I've got the same pecs though. Game. Unlucky, mate.
Okay, Chev, reaction 2-0. I mean, you play quite a lot of Xbox, I believe, so that must be quite disappointing.
Me, I don't even have a PlayStation. Where I'm from, we can't afford these things.
Okay, that was fun. Fatal Fury, available now on all platforms. Back to you guys.
There is always a different flavour, a different energy at these events on the Ring Magazine cards, on Riyadh season cards. It's special, but did you ever think that you'd see Chev Clarke playing Fatal Fury with Eddie Hearn?
Boys will be boys. Simple.
Do you fancy yourself as a bit of a gamer?
I can play.
You can play?
I can play.
Well, I think we could actually put you in the game, because we've been mocking up some Fatal Fury characters, Tony, and we actually put you in the game. Let's see how you look.
This should be fun.
It's worth the wait.
Oh, yes, Tony.
Has it? Oh, wow. Nice one. Thank you very much. I'll have that all day. But that usually that happens in my dreams, and then I wake up and then I look in the mirror and see Mr. Soft. Fantastic, thank you very much.
I think that was you down at light heavy, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, well, wow. I didn't have that much muscle. I was a lot more leaner and thinner than that. But yeah, I did have six-pack and I did have a few little.
You want to get that printed out?
Oh mate, listen, I need to just get that tattooed onto my body.
I think it would work, but you're not the only one we've been planted into the game, Carl. You don't get away scot-free. Let's see what you would like as a
little case.
Oh, look at the
looks like something out of the Warriors.
Here, they made me half decent looking as well.
What do you think? What do you think about the size of the biceps?
I've not seen that long.
Lion lad. Here we go.
Used to be bigger, but they've definitely made me prettier.
I think I've actually seen you turn up to some broadcasts in one of those sleevers.
I thought that was a picture of Brad Pitt or Carlos.
Let me tell you, the surprises keep coming, right? Because we talk about rivalries. There's no bigger rivalry in the last few weeks than Ben Shalom against Eddie Hearn, and they're actually down there with Jamie playing a bit of Fatal Fury, see at the Wolves.
Okay, well, how about this? Ben Shalom versus Eddie Hearn, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Look, this might be just a game, but you get the feeling this means an awful lot more than that. They're just picking their characters now. Let's see if we can get a pre-fight word with both. We'll hear what they're saying here.
He's very worried that the board are going to be telling off for playing a game with me.
Yeah, I just said, I just wondered whether it was 10 or 12 rounds.
It was 12, it's now 10. What's that?
Ben, this is just a video game, of course. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. But why is this a game you want to win?
I've always been into Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, FIFA, Fatal Fury. I've heard a lot about it. I've not played it before, but now that I'm going to get into it now, and yeah, I think it's a very good game.
Promoter Eddie Hearn, what does this mean to you?
You could put a glass eye to sleep. You could. Jesus. Listen, Fatal Fury, for me, one of the best games on the market right now. It's got everything. I mean, the player jump button on the X and the triangle as well. You can do the spin kicks, you can swivel around. It's got flames, it's got entertainment, it's got everything. And, I play it on the PlayStation, the Xbox, the GS75, that one as well. And I get out of it.
Okay, here we go then. I'm not sure if you can see the screen at home.
What are you pressing? You fucking bastard. Oh, fuck.
Language, Benjamin. We are live.
Sorry. I'll fuck him up.
Oh. And I think we'll call that a draw. Would you look at that? It's a draw. It's a draw. They can't be split. They cannot be split. Fatal Fury available now on all platforms. Back to you guys in the studio.
That's what gaming does to you. It takes you to a different level. We've spoken all week about controlling emotions. Ben Shalom couldn't control him there.
He's just gone the streets on Eddie, like just turned into the streets, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Oh, guys, listen, we're running out of time. The fighters have gone home. it's time for us to leave. We've had an incredible time this fight week. The build-up has been electric. It's been brilliant. This is a fight that you do not want to miss. This is 35 years of a grudge match, a score to be settled. It's happening tomorrow night live on DAZN. If you want to get that fight, all you got to do is go to DAZN.com/boxing. Chris Eubank Jr. against Conor Benn. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. It is going to be special, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
SNK 本部へようこそ。ここでは画廊伝説のすべてが保管されています。Yo, look at that. He's Howard. Here, you can see our server room, where millions of players are playing online as we speak. Here you can see the original artwork of
Speed? Speed, where are you going?
Whoa! Yo, Chad, this place is sick! Yo, what is that red button?
Bro, don't do anything stupid.
Nah. It must have a new game in this. Chad, should I hit the red button?
Do not press the button.
Chad, should I take it?
You're mine. Let us finish what your fathers couldn't. Speed, do not press the red button.
Son?
Oh no.
What's up?
Destiny has brought you here. 32 years in the making. The fight no one could make happen. Now I, East Howard, will make it happen. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Fight, 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 fight.
Oh my God, Chad, are you getting this?
I'm gonna get you out of there, Speed.
Oh, you boxers ain't built for this.
Chad, this is crazy. Oh my God.
Come on, son. Yeah.
Okay, reset. Oh, Jesus. Time to end this. Oh, thank God. Help, my friend's stuck. Ow! Finally, time to settle what your fathers never could. Fight! Started a legacy continues. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. The fate of a family legacy will be decided